All right, one more time. Yeah, so we've got porn star Alex Cole that's going to be hopping in here with me. And, I think it's good to have a woman's perspective from time to time. And just to get in here and give her her thoughts on, all the stuff that we talk about, all the dating and relationship questions. What's up, Cool? What's up, Joe? I see you guys. So as soon as she's able to pop up here on the screen, I can plug her in. But there just seems to be a little bit of a glitch to get her plugged in here. So what's up, Mr. Jack? Black Boys, I see you. Yeah, so if you guys have dating and relationship questions, now's a good time to throw them out there and we can start chopping it up. What's up, Dean? I see you. Man Moves Wicked. That guy never misses an IGTV session with Modern Valor Dating. So good to see you in here, man. You guys know the deal. Oh, there it is. All right, let me pull her up. Okay. All right, I think we got it. I think we got it figured out. Good to go. So she's gonna come up here shortly. There you are. Hey, can you turn your camera? There it is. Now you got to turn up the mic.
Nobody. My speaker's actually broke. So I have to plug it into this mic, but I didn't realize that it would turn off my speaker.
All right, we got it. We got it now. We got it figured out. So you've never done one of these before, ever, huh?
All right. No, I haven't. I have no idea what I'm doing. And
all right, that's totally fine.
Not very tech savvy.
All right. Well, you're not the only one. I'm terrible at this kind of thing. It's just a lot of trial and error. So thank you for joining us and coming on here and doing some dating and relationship Q&A. So like I was just saying this right before you hopped on here. I think it's good a lot of times to have a woman's perspective on dating, relationships, things like that. But before we get into that, let me just throw out a couple of accolades on your end, right? So you just scored 2, not 1, 2 Spank Bank Awards, Handjob Heroine of the Year, and what's fan sign model? That one I don't know.
A fan sign, it's funny, I don't know why I got that one. I haven't made a fan sign in years, but a fan sign is usually when a model will write a fan's name on a piece of paper or on their body and then post the photo.
Okay.
And usually fans will pay for something like that. I used to sell those, but I haven't in a long time, so I'm not sure why I won that one, but it was funny.
All right, I got you. And then your latest title, While He Watches Volume 2. So it's a sequel.
Okay, you're Volume 2. That's a fun one. It's actually like a not a cuckolding. A lot of people have called it cuckolding, but cuckolding actually you have to have an embarrassment factor. So it's more of a hot wifing or a polyamory or a sharing video. And we made it really sensual and romantic. And my husband, who was watching, is Mike Mancini, and he's great. And we've never actually performed together, so it's funny. I've never fucked him. But we made out, like I put my head in his lap, like we were talking to each other. Like it was very much we're doing this together. I'm not humiliating you. You're not less of a man for letting me fuck someone else. This is just a fun thing we like doing.
I got you. And then the latest video, Lost Without Master, a camping series. Now, when it says Lost, all right, I got to know this. All right, so Lost Without Master, is that in the BDSM sense of like Dom sub type of dynamic here, or what's going on there? All right, lost the mic again.
Right. So no, that's really funny. It's a mind control video. So master as in he's in control of us mentally. So basically the synopsis is my friend Avery Christie and I are hiking my phone gets jammed by the guy.
I got you.
Supposedly, like it's hinted at. So
All
we
right.
don't have a compass anymore. We don't have service anymore. So we're lost. And he's there and he's like, oh, yeah, do you need water? Do you need food? What do you need? Do you need help? And he
Yeah.
starts suggesting things that maybe we're not so comfortable with. Like, you know what? You seem hot. Why don't you pour the water on yourself? And we're like, oh, it's a little weird. You know, we don't need to do that. And he uses a compass to
Yeah.
hypnotize us. And so every time he holds up the compass, it is the trigger for the trance, where we realize that without doing exactly what he says, we would be lost forever. No one wants to be lost forever. So
no,
it
of course
becomes
not.
a thing where eventually we're doing everything he wants us to do happily, but it's that mental domination and training, but it's completely fantasy. It's not BDSM style anything.
I got you. I got you. You know what? We've had so many people hop in here. I saw a question that flew up the screen, and it's way back there. And for me to go try to find it is going to be very difficult. Who is this guy? That guy would be me. I'm Dale Valor from Modern Valor Dating. For you guys that are watching who don't know what we do, we are a dating and relationship advice company. Primarily, we work with men for the most part. You know, the whole idea being bringing guys up to speed on how to communicate with women. You know, that's what we do. That's what we work on. And, man, you got a lot of friends. Our screen froze up a little bit. You got a lot of friends in here, don't you?
I guess so. I mean, there's 14 people in here, right? Or
right. Yeah. It's hard to tell because, like, it'll have a number at the top, but then when the video ends, it'll be like, you know, it kind of counts up everybody. So it'll be like 150 people watch your video, you know, but people just kind of, a lot of times just kind of come in and out and things like that, you know, so.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, I would say that all the people that watch me are my friends.
It's very, very well put. All right. So I'm not really getting a whole lot of dating and relationship questions right now. So I'll just go ahead and ask you a couple myself and just, you know, get your perspective on it. Okay. So let me ask you this, and, you know, you can answer freely or just whatever. It's up to you. But, like, are you in a relationship currently?
Yeah, I've been with my partner for almost 3 years now.
Okay, so. Gotcha. All right, so it's been a minute then. Now, how does your partner feel about you being in the industry?
Pretty good about it. I was already in the industry whenever we started dating, and he's in the industry too. So I'm dating Michael Masters. He's been in the industry for like 8 years as a producer, performer, all kinds of stuff. He's been in over 2,000 videos. He couldn't be more supportive. Yeah,
that makes sense. You know, I mean, if you're kind of on equal footing because you both do the same thing. Now, how to play. All right, Cool says, I got a question, how to play hard to get. So, all right, if a guy, because I know that that's a guy, all right, how would you define playing hard to get as from a guy's perspective? Because here's the deal. More often than not, what you have is the woman playing hard to get, right? So how would you see that being played out from a woman's perspective?
I personally think anyone should play hard to get. I think if you like someone, you should tell them. And I think if you feel a certain way, you should say so and express that in a proper way. If somebody, I don't know, I've never been a hard to get kind of person, and I don't really understand that at all. If I like someone, I'm going to tell them, and if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. If they don't like me back, that's totally fine, but why waste time? Yeah,
I'm with you, but on the flip side of that, no, okay, so what this tells me is that clearly you're confident and you speak your mind and say what it is. You know, like if there's somebody that you're attracted to and that you want to talk to and potentially have something there, you know, aside from your significant other currently, just saying that you're single or whatever, right? You're going to go up and you're going to go and talk to that person, right? Most, in general, you know, like particularly like at the club or something like that, women don't generally approach men. You know, then that's something that I've seen play out a million times, you know, with guys that I work with and things like that. They just don't come up and approach. It's more on the guy to go out there and make it happen, you know. So to answer his question, you know, how to play hard to get from a man's perspective, I would just say don't give away the shot, man. When you're communicating, don't give away everything. Don't be too intense, you know. What you want to be is have an air of mystery a little bit about yourself. So is that way it's fun to get to know you. It's not something like, you know, okay, here I am, here's my name, this is everything about me. Nobody wants to have that conversation right off the bat. You know what I mean? So that's how I would summarize that. I saw like 20 questions fly by, and let me see if I can scroll back to all right. My girlfriend doesn't want to have rough sex. What can I do? Because I really love her, but I need that kind of sex in my life. All right. That sounds like a good question for you.
Well, you're not going to like my answer, but the answer is if your partner doesn't want to have a particular kind of sex and you've already talked about it and been open and honest with each other and they're still not down for it, you can try things, like you can try watching that kind of porn together, but you're just gonna, if they've been very clear with you that they're not into that and that that's not what they want, you're getting into a consent area where you're pressuring someone, and that's never where you want to be. So if you really, you know, if you want to have a healthy relationship, you can't be pressuring your partner into having a type of sex that they're not comfortable with. That's never going to work out in the long run in your favor. You might get them to do it, and then you'll feel good for a minute, and then they'll feel shitty about it, and it's just not worth it, man. Just and appreciate your girl, or you're not compatible. If you're not sexually compatible, then sex is a huge part of any relationship. If you're not sexually compatible, then you're not sexually compatible. I've dated men that I'm not sexually compatible with, and I've tried and tried and tried to get them to do the things that I want to do in bed, and it never worked out well for me. So it makes you unhappy, it makes her unhappy, it doesn't work. If you're not compatible, you're not compatible. So don't convince people to do things.
Here's the thing. I mean, it's kind of hard sometimes with questions like this because we don't know the context. All right. So when you say rough sex, that might mean something completely different than what she thinks rough sex is. You know, like she might think rough sex is just, you know,
that's
some
why I
spanking.
said, what if you have if you've had open and honest communication and she understands what you want and she doesn't want that, then that's not what's going to happen. It shouldn't be what's going to happen because it's not going to work out. But if you just haven't been open and honest enough about exactly what you want, then try that.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing is, to allude to what you're saying, you know, if you've had that conversation, like, what did that conversation look like? You know, is it like a thing of like, I'm trying to pressure you to do this, and she's just like, no, I don't want to do that, and you know, that kind of thing. Or was it like,
I'm gonna pressure you to do this? It's more like, but I really want it, but I really want it, like a child at the store. Like, but I really want the candy. Mom's not going to go into, we can't have the candy because we can't afford the candy. Mom's just going to say, no, you're not getting the candy. It doesn't matter. Like, what I'm saying covers.
Yeah, so, you know, the thing is if you're twisting her arm to try to get rough sex, you know, it's not going to work, but hopefully you had enough conversation to know what rough sex is defined by from each individual, you know, because, you know, if, again, maybe her idea of rough sex is like on some BDSM, you know, you're going to tie me to a St. Andrew's cross and whip the hell out of me. That's her, in her mind, rough sex, and she wants no part of it.
Yeah,
as to where what you really meant.
Open and honest communication about what you mean.
Yeah. And I like what you said, too, about being compatible. If it's something that you absolutely need as a part of your life, it's probably not going to work out. And I feel you, dude, because, like, in a past life, you know, I was a BDSM dom professionally. Okay, and so like it's something that's a part of my makeup, you know, and so I get it. You know, if it's something that you absolutely need, like, then it's probably not going to be compatible, man. And then what ends up happening is you're going to be planting seeds of resentment to where now you just kind of resent her, you know, and then she's just being herself, man, you know. So have like Alex said, an open, honest conversation, really chop it up, really be thorough, and come to an understanding of what that looks like, you know. So yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. Oops. All right. A conversation about candies and sex. Yeah, you're getting a whole lot more compliments than I am.
Hey.
That's all right. So, you guys that are watching, if you don't follow Alex, please do so at Legit Cole. Right? That's it, isn't it? Okay. And when I say Cole, it's COAL, right? Not COLE. Gotcha. Okay, we got it. So, all right. Well, let me ask you a couple questions until, you know, some more questions roll in here. What's your favorite part about being in the industry?
Cool. And I did see another question in the chat. I bumped the mic. Sorry about that. I'm sure that sucks.
Well, if you saw it, go ahead and
question in the chat. Should a guy work on himself or let a girl choose him? I would say, just real quick, because I saw that in the chat.
Okay.
I'd say work on yourself, be happy with yourself, and then when you find someone, you find someone. But if you can't make yourself happy and you're not proud of yourself, then you're not ready for a solid relationship anyway. So definitely work on yourself. And what shows am I watching? I'm watching Naruto Shippuden over again right now. So.
All right.
And then as far as the industry, my favorite thing about the industry would be the people that I get to meet, because I've been doing my own thing for 5 or 6 years, and I love camming, and I kind of get everything I need out of that. And so porn was just kind of an adventure, and the best part of the adventure so far has been all the pretty awesome people I've been able to meet and the connections and friends I've been able to make. I'd say that was the best part.
All right, well, cool. So the question before being, should you work on your, can you, how was that worded? Do you remember? It was like, should you work on yourself
or let a girl choose you?
All right, so here's the deal. Firstly, to frame it in that her choosing you, I think is a poor way to look at it. You know, you should always be working on yourself, relationship or otherwise. You know, you should always be striving to be the best self you can be. I know that sounds super cliche, but it's 100% true. You know, some of the worst advice that I hear in terms of dating and relationships and things like that is, you know, and it's so cliche, just be yourself. I mean, I hear that, but the thing is that you should not strive to be yourself. You should strive to be your best self. It shouldn't be a thing of, I'm going to sit back and let somebody choose me. It should be a thing of, I have options because there's lots of people that want to be around me because I'm a person of value. There's things, intrinsic values that I bring to the table that people want to align themselves with me. So now you're a better option for somebody because you've worked on yourself, and the people that you will align with are going to be better options for you. So it's not about her choosing you. It's about you working on yourself and then you making it happen for yourself. You know, if you're just going to sit there and wait for somebody to choose you, you're probably going to be waiting a long time. You know, what's the old saying? You know, like, God helps those that help themselves. You know, the gods of relationships will help those that help themselves. I'll just put it to you like that. And thank you. I appreciate that. I see a couple of people that, you know, said, that was good advice, type of stuff. And all right. So, all right, Alex, do you enjoy a relationship with your work?
that's just the same question we did earlier of like, do I have a boyfriend or not? I think that's what that means. And yes.
You probably get asked that a whole lot of times. would be my guess. All right, so
yeah, it's funny.
now,
No, a lot of people have a lot of problems understanding why a man would be sexually confident enough to let his partner do porn. And the funny thing about it is no one lets me do anything. And I only really am attracted to men that are sexually confident enough to let me do whatever the fuck I want. Because I like to let them do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not going to restrict my partner and keep them from life experiences that they could otherwise have. And I don't expect anyone to restrict my freedoms. So it's always the funniest question because it's like, how could I be in a relationship with someone who would want to sexually control me? I wouldn't.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that. Unless it's a consensual kind of control, which is what I like.
I don't like being under control anytime at all. There is no consensual control.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Everybody, hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, to each their own, I guess. But now, just on a side note, I guess, like, are you and your partner are you in any kind of like poly type of open type of relationship outside of obviously the industry?
No, we're relatively monogamous. But if I'm out of town and he needs sex, he can fuck whoever he wants. And if I'm out of town and I need sex, I can fuck whoever I want. But the thing is, we are both performers. So
right.
We're both pretty fucked out. We fuck all the time. My zodiac sign is Gemini. Thank you for asking. But yeah, like it's just kind of, it's open, but we don't have another girlfriend or another boyfriend.
Yeah,
I don't see the point in that. I put everything I have into having one partner, and that's how that works best for me, I feel.
All right. And I agree with that. You know, from my perspective, that's something that like me and my partner have is, you know, it's open relationship and things of that sort. And, you know, yeah, I think it works. I mean, it works for us. Does it work for everybody? No, of course it doesn't. But, you know, and you got to know this as much as anybody, communication being so key in that kind of dynamic, in that kind of relationship. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta constantly have communication. Otherwise, something like that is not
healthy. There's no healthy relationship without healthy communication. Period. You literally can't have a good relationship if you can't communicate.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. So what's some of your goals in the industry here? Like what would you like to aspire to in a perfect world?
Thanks, Cardenas. I like how I celebrate too. With the We Did It dance. So as far as goals in the industry, like I said, it's kind of an adventure for me. So I'm just going out and doing different things and having a good time and traveling and shooting for as many companies as possible. And if I win awards along the way, that's cool. But basically it's just I've been camming for a long time and making my own content, and right now I'm focused on making new connections and having a good time and making lots and lots of videos. I was in over 150 videos in about a year and 2 months, and then COVID hit. So, you know, I was hoping to beat 100, and I did 130 last year, and then I did 20 this year before it hit. So I was hoping to beat 130 this year, but that's not going to happen. So maybe next year.
How did they, you know what, actually, that's a good, I'm kind of glad you brought that up. How was, with COVID and things like that, like, what kind of, like, shift was there in filming and all that kind of stuff? Did it pretty much just go to, like, solo webcam type of stuff? Or, like was there just, like, a shutdown for all shooting?
As far as me or the industry in general?
No, in the adult industry, I'm saying.
I would say that a lot of people in the adult industry had to learn how to do like cam and their own content and things like that because it wasn't really safe to shoot with other people. So we did a voluntary production hold. So
Yeah.
you technically wouldn't be penalized for shooting, but it was highly, highly discouraged and looked down upon, and people were put on blacklists if they did shoot by some people. And I
Yeah.
completely understand why. Thank you. And yeah, I think the industry had to adapt a lot. And I think now that we're going back to shooting, there's going to be some lasting effects of performers understanding that they can make a living off content without having to leave their house.
Mhm.
But there's also plenty of people who are really excited to go back to shooting. So I think we're
Yeah.
going to bounce back relatively quickly. I'm already booked for about a month of shoots coming up, so it should be good.
Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So when it comes to uh, dating, you know, like I know you're in a relationship and things like that, but you weren't always in a relationship, right? So the thing is that before,
I've always been in relationships. I've never been single
yeah,
since I was 18. I've just gone from one person to, I dated
really,
one person for 5 years, and we were open, and I started seeing another person, and when we broke up, I was with that person for a year and a couple months, and then we took on another boyfriend, and I was with him for 2 years and some months, and that didn't work out, so I broke up with both of them, and then now I'm dating my partner.
okay,
But I started dating my partner while I was still dating one of them. So I've never actually been single since I was 18.
wow, okay, all right. Do you ever sit back and like wish that, like, man, I wish I was kind of single right now? You know what I mean? Like, just because you've never had that
Fucking
experience, I
why? I
guess.
can do whatever the hell I want. I have a stable relationship partner, and I can fuck
Huh?
whoever the fuck I want. So why would I want to be single? I'm not restricted from doing anything.
Sure, I got you. I got you. Okay, all right, all right. So, all right. So that being said, if a guy is going to approach you, right? We'll just say, you know, for instance, right? You're at the mall, all right, and whatever you're shopping at, you know, wherever you're shopping, and a guy's going to come up and approach you. What's the best way that he can approach you that is going to be receptive without like, oh my God, here we go again. Get this fucker out of here. You know what I mean? Like, what's the best
That
way
does happen
that
a lot.
it's going to land with you?
I can't go to the grocery store looking like shit and not get bothered by somebody. I've had people follow me through the store. I've had people follow me to my car. I've had people yell at me. It's not good. I'd say the only approach that I would recommend is like just go up and say, "Hi, I just thought you looked really lovely and I wanted to say hi. If you have a card or anything, give them your number that way, but quick entry, quick exit, because the longer you linger, the more creepy you are. So
Yeah.
just come up, say what you were thinking. If it was PG, like turn
State your
whatever the fuck you're
business.
thinking into PG. Just be like, "Hi, your dress is really pretty. I know this isn't the time, but if you ever wanted to get to know each other, here you go. Have a good day." And then if they never call you, it wasn't a loss. You tried. But I would say that's the approach that gets me to smile instead of to go, "God damn it." Like, don't come up and be like, "Your tits look amazing," or "Don't I know you from porn," or like whatever it is. It doesn't like, "Oh my God, I loved your anal video." Like but even not me, like even people that don't recognize me, like will come up and say the weirdest shit. And it's like, don't try to be weird and like stick out in somebody's mind or something. Like them remembering you for a negative reason isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Just walk up, say, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you you looked really lovely. Have a great day," and then walk away. Because the longer you linger, the more desperate you seem. Just in and out, quick, polite, PG. Keep it to that. That's the best you can do. I honestly don't like meeting people in public like that. I like meeting people online, or meeting people at events or
Yeah.
activities I enjoy. Like I like rock climbing. So if I met someone at the rock climbing gym, it's a lot more likely I'm going to call them than if I met them at like the grocery store when I don't feel like interacting with anyone.
Right.
So keep that in mind too. Do things you enjoy, and you will meet people that enjoy those things too, and then at least you have one fucking thing in common.
Yeah. I'm a big fan and advocate of, you know, like meetup.com. You know what I mean? Like, look, you know, here's the thing. You could, and if you don't find an interest that you know, that you want to be a part of on there, you can start your own thing. Like here in Detroit, I started my own wine tasting one, and I don't know shit about tasting wine, you know, but I wanted to learn. And so I figured the best way for me to learn is be around people that are into that. You know, that's the best way I'm going to learn. So I put together my own meetup.com, and I got to meet quite a few people through that. That was really cool. A couple of different women that I ended up hanging out with, going on dates with, and things like that. And it was well worth it, you know? So, yeah. But, all right, so rock climbing, that's so cool. All right, so now what would be, like, all right, so say you go to, you're at the rock climbing gym or whatever, and you meet somebody there, you exchange numbers. What's the best way a guy can talk to you through text messaging, through phone calls, to like lock something down? Like, okay, now we're gonna, you know, go to a concert, or we're gonna go whatever for dinner, you know, like something like that. What's the best way that a guy can touch base with you like that, you know?
Again, I think I'm kind of old-fashioned. Like, I don't know. Like, talk to me like you would talk to anyone else. Don't treat me differently because I'm a girl that you want to fuck. Like, just treat me like a person that you want to get to know. If you met a guy at the rock climbing gym that you wanted to become friends with, treat me how you would treat that guy. Because if you treat me like, hey, baby, you're so sexy. I can't believe how hot your ass looked in your rock climbing shorts. And I'll be like, okay, block the number. No problem. Right. Find another gym. It's all good. Just treat me like one of the dudes. That's my personal thing. As far as anyone, I would say a fun activity is always better than dinner. During the daytime in a public place is preferred. So be like, hey, you like rock climbing? That's cool. Right next to the rock climbing gym, there's here in Vegas we have the container park. Okay. So something like the container park would be super cool, where it's like there's an adult-sized playground, and there's a bunch of little shops and like restaurants and stuff. Great. And then there's like live bands and street performers. So I would say like, hey, like if you want to go do something fun after rock climbing, like we could go walk over to Fremont and go to the container park and like hang out on the slides and get some ice cream or something. Yeah. And then we can go watch some street performers and bring a bunch of change to tip with, of course, because girls love men that tip.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, what you're saying in large part are some of the things that I advocate. You know, when I'm telling guys to, like, you know, when you're texting or talking on the phone, things like that, treat her like you would treat one of your friends initially, before, you know, like before you're going to hang out for the first time or go on a date or whatever, you know, treat her like one of your buddies, kind of. You know, I mean, maybe flirt a little bit, you know, just to show some intent and that you're attracted, so you're not, you know, friend zoned. But at the same time, don't go way over the top.
But like, if you meet up for that date and she's wearing something cute, just be like, oh, you look really good in that, like something like that. Or whatever. Like, again, you don't want to go vulgar because people learn a lot of their sexual moves and shit from porn, and that's not real. It's like a movie. Like, just remember that it's not real. Just be like, girls love compliments on their outfits, but you're not complimenting the outfit. You're complimenting her in the outfit. That's very important. Because the girl picked out the outfit, so you're complimenting her taste, but you're also complimenting her figure in a nice way. So I'm wearing this dress. You could be like, oh, that dress really brings out the color in your eyes. Something like that. Yeah. Bam. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not, it's funny that you say, you know, like dinner and things like that. Like, that's such a lame date idea to me. It's so just like, you know.
Again, it's not the worst thing ever, because I do public platonic meetups. I don't offer, like, escorting is legal in parts of Nevada. I don't do that, but I offer public platonic meetups, and a lot of the time guys will take me on to dinner. So it's always fine. It's a good way to get to know each other over food that you both like, especially if you know she likes a certain kind of food. Make sure that you take her to a place like that because she'll appreciate that you remembered that she likes that food.
Right.
Extra bonus points if you can be like, oh, they have your favorite dish here. So like, I like tikka masala. If somebody just met me and they took me to an Indian place and they were like, and they have tikka masala here, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, you remembered. I like that thing. That's always nice. Anytime you can show you're listening to previous conversations, it's a bonus. But what was I gonna say? It's dinner's not lame, but it's like it's more fun if you do like, hey, let's go to dinner and then we'll play mini golf or something like that instead of just, hey, let's go sit at a table across from each other and then talk about hopefully a lot of things and hopefully there aren't a whole lot of silences. Maybe you go and play mini golf, then you have dinner.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, how about we go and we play mini golf and we laugh at each other, and that's a fun way to be doing things while talking, and then we go and sit down and talk. That'll be I think that's a good idea.
I'll give you one of my secrets in terms of a date that lands well. Always lands well. All right. So in Detroit, there's there's a park. All right. And in this park is where they keep all the Detroit City police horses. Okay. Now, what you can do is you can go get like a bag of apples or carrots or something like that, and then take it over there and you're able to pet the horses and feed the horses and all that kind of thing. Like, there isn't a girl on the planet that doesn't love to pet horses. Am I right? Like who doesn't like to pet horses, And so, you get to hang out with them and just feed them and all that kind of stuff, get to know each other, walk around and talk in the park and all that kind of thing. And to me, it's just way better than, just getting dinner. Come on, let's go to Chili's. Give you a break. All right. I saw a question. Hold on. Do you think, and I know this isn't true of you because we already discussed this, but in general, do you think adult film stars take longer to find a partner?
Not me. No, not really. I think when you're meeting that many people and having sex with them, that wall's already broken. So a lot of the porn people I know are in relationships, whether they say it publicly or not. A lot of them are married. A lot of them are in serious relationships. I think it's kind of a myth that it's hard for porn people to have relationships. I think it might be hard to maintain for some people, but again, it's the minority. Because a lot of the time it's like, unless you're a psycho, you do it, they do it. It's kind of like, usually we partner up with people in the industry because that's who we're around all the time and that's who we're fucking anyway. And that's who is going to like appreciate that it's a job. It's not, I'm cheating on you, or, oh, I love them now that I've fucked them one time. It's like, no, you don't. It's like, hey, bro, I'm here to have a good day, and then I'm gonna go home and fuck my boyfriend. Yeah. So let's wrap this shit up so I can go suck my favorite dick. Thank you. Like, but no, I think that's a myth. and I know girls who are married to civilian guys, and they love that their partner is understanding that they do something for work, but it doesn't impact the love they have in their heart for their partner. So most of the people I know are married or in serious relationships. So I would say
that's interesting.
Myth busted.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting because I would have thought, it's been a while. Like I used to manage a couple of different adult performers, but this was years ago. All right. And so for all I know, some things may have changed and blah, 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 because it's been a minute. And, the thing is that if I would have bet money, I would say it's easy to get into relationships, but it would be hard to maintain them, But according to you, that's not the case. So, yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, people's feelings change. People can get jealous. People get burned out, and maybe their partner's not burned out. Or I have seen sometimes where one partner will be more successful than the other, and then there's bitterness.
Right.
But I would say that's maybe 10%. Like, I would
Yeah.
say 90% of people are either single because they want to be, and they're enjoying their porn time, and they're looking for more of a monogamous, like seriously monogamous relationship when they get out.
Right.
I know a few people like that, or I know
Yeah.
people who are engaged and they're waiting to get married until they're out of porn because that's their own personal feelings on the subject. But like,
Mhm.
I still I would say like 10% is like psycho situations where you're like, oh, well, that's not great.
Yeah.
But
All right. All right. So you guys, for those that you don't, for you guys that don't know, this is Alex Cole, and follow her at Legit Cole. And so, yeah. And what you have a website too, correct? Like, what's the okay? Let me say this. What's the best way to get a hold of your content? Because I know I've got like a million links that Eric sent me. You tell me, what's the best way to get a hold of your content?
because I make it so easy. There's this site called All My Links. So it's super simple. It's like all my links are on allmylinks.com. So I recommend it to anyone who works online and has more than one website they direct people to, or would like to direct people to their website and their email at the same time, because you
Yeah,
can put emails on there.
probably
Sorry, I
what I
talk
should
really
do.
fast. Um, it's all my links, ALLMYLINKS.com/ALEXXXCOAL. That's it. And on there, you'll find my many vids, my clips for sale, my chatterbait, my free cams, my fucking OnlyFans. I would say if people want to see a wide variety of my videos, you can check clips for sale, ManyVids, and I Want Clips. I have different videos on all of them. I would say ManyVids has the most. It's over 200 now.
Wow.
And OnlyFans, I just hit 1,400 subscribers today on my
Okay.
OnlyFans, and we're in the top 1%. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I would recommend the OnlyFans. It seems like people like
Yeah.
that.
I got you. I got you. All right. Yeah, no, that's what's up. That's what I should probably do that myself because I mean, it's just a thing of like, okay, like we got a website coming out in like 2 weeks. All right. Instagram, our Facebook group, our YouTube channel, just all these different mediums and platforms and all that stuff. It just to put them all in one place, it sounds like a good idea. It's probably something I should investigate. So thank you for that. Yeah. So, all right. So now, we kind of talked about like how to get your attention, like like in a out and about kind of way. And then we talked about maintaining a relationship and things like that in the industry and things of that sort. So what in your opinion, what would be a good way to when you're in a relationship with somebody who's not in the industry or something like that, or well, has everybody that you've dated, were they all in the industry? Because I know you said it was like, was dating these people and then this.
I guess so. My first boyfriend I dated for 5 years. He was not in the industry, neither was
Okay.
I.
All right.
But we were open. While we were open, I met a guy named Max, and so Max and I started dating. And Max actually encouraged me to do the webcamming and stuff, because
Yeah.
his ex had done it, and he was like, "Well, if she can do it, you're gonna excel at it." And I was like, "Well, you don't need to say it that way, but okay." And so I started camming, and it worked out
Yeah.
really well, and I loved it. And I ended up quitting all 3 of my jobs. And while I
Jeez,
was camming,
sweet
I
talk.
made a Twitter, and on
Yeah.
Twitter, I met my third boyfriend, Mike Panic. And so Max and Mike and I all moved into a house I bought together, and we all 3 dated. And that was fantastic. And I was still doing camming, not in porn yet. And I ended up breaking up with both of them and dating my current partner, Michael. I like M's. If your name starts with M, you have a higher chance, because I've dated 1 A and 3 M's. So that Michael's the partner who encouraged me to finally try porn, because I'd
Okay.
always wanted to, but I didn't think I could, and no one else had really encouraged it.
Mhm.
And since he's a producer and everything, he was like, well, let me just shoot you a couple times and we'll see how you like it. And I loved it. And so after that, he got me in contact with a few talent agents. And
Mhm.
I picked one and I started doing porn. I don't know if that actually answered the question.
Well, now we know, even if it doesn't. Now we know the whole backstory. But no, what the reason I was asking that though is, you know, how would you define, you know, like when you're in a relationship and we're talking about maintaining it, right? So say if there's somebody who's not a part of the industry, and I think that also applies to people who, you know, for instance, you know, doing what I do, right? Like, you know, any girl I date is not likely to be a dating coach, right? So the thing is that when somebody isn't a part of the industry, like, how do you maintain that? Like, what kind of conversations does that look like? How do you walk them through, like, what that really looks like, so is that it makes sense? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Just don't think I have any experience with it because I've never had to have that talk.
Right. Okay.
I guess my advice is going to be like it is anytime that I'm not 100% sure, it's going to be open and honest conversation. Like once you're in a dating type mode, you need to be completely honest about what your job is and what you're doing and
Right.
make sure that they're okay with it. Even maybe before you get into dating mode, like you need to check all this shit off. You need to have all this worked out already before you're actually in a relationship. That's what the dating process is for, is for feeling each other out and seeing if you're compatible before you're like, okay, now you're my boyfriend. Now you're my girlfriend. It's like, no, first I'm going to get to know you. We're going to date first. It's going to be great.
Exactly.
We're going to learn about each other. And if we work, we work. And if we don't, we don't. So I guess it's like that. But I've never had to have that talk with anyone because like I was encouraged to do it by the first one, the second one. And so then Mike Panic's actually industry too. So the only guy I've dated who wasn't in the industry encouraged me to be in the industry. So there was no talk needed.
The irony. Yeah, well, so, you know, I like what you said about dating. Just basically, you're basically screening is what you're doing. You're screening the person to see if that is a person that you mesh well with, that you both, I guess, whatever intrinsic values that each of you have, that it meshes. Because if it doesn't, you know, like if your life goals and everything that you're trying to do does not equate to what they're trying to do, and it just bumps heads, nobody wants to go through that, you know? And so I like that, in that when you're dating, it should be a screening process. It shouldn't just be, okay, well, we went out on 5 dates, so I don't know, I guess we're together. You know, it shouldn't be that, right? So, yeah. But, all right, well, I'll tell you what, we basically got 2 minutes left. So, I'm just going to throw it out there again. You know, you guys, if you don't follow Alex Cole, please do so at Legit Cole, and that's COAL, not COLE, because that's what I would have assumed myself. So I just want to put that out there. And also, you know, we put, you know, we just kind of like made a little thumbnail, threw that out there earlier. It has a link to her IG. So definitely throw her a follow. Check out what she's got going on. And, you know, I think it's super dope. And I really, really, really appreciate you coming on with me. You know, you guys, we do this every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Modern Valor Dating, questions about dating and relationships. So definitely appreciate you coming on with me. It was awesome. I had a ton of fun with you, you know. So hopefully you had a good time here. And yeah,
that was great. I would love to come back when I don't have to plug and unplug the mic every time. Thank you for dealing with that. I hope it turned out okay, even with me being technically challenged.
That's okay. Oh, we got it. It's totally fine. We worked it out. No worries. And yeah, if you want to come back on, you know, we can hook that up anytime. You know, it's no problem at all. So definitely appreciate you. And all right, guys, I'm going to hop off of here. And if you want to find out more about what we're doing, our YouTube channel is in the link in the bio, and bam, there it is. So, all right, again, appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.